like a nice coat to me.
I wonder if it was a white dude that sat there and called Tracy Morgan a nigga back in the day, and then asked for help, would the outrage would have still been the same? Like, I remember you called me a nigga. Everybody in the crowd would have probably jumped, dude, whooped his ass. I was like, it's the same rules apply. It's like, okay, it's no different from that. Take it as that. What if dude like said something against his mom after his mom just died?
I mean, who knows? Like, I don't think Tracy has ever came out and spoke on the situation afterward or whatever and actually clarified it. No. It's all just been hearsay and people that, claim to be, familiar with the situation and all this other stuff. I don't think Tracy actually confirmed anything. Yeah. But only thing we know is apparently whatever the hell interaction or relationship they had back in the day, Tracy wasn't too fond of the way their last few interactions.
Probably stole his girl or some shit.
I'm on Tracy's side for this one.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm like, I said, I wouldn't. I'm like, this is not how I talk to people. Like I said, it was pretty aggressive. Even though he didn't like get in his face, he was like still moving through the crowd or whatever. But it's just like I'm like, dog, I got nothing for you, man. Like, hey, you know what our relationship was. Like, I got nothing for you, and we kept it moving. But that's the only thing, and that's even still, it's like, hey, you can't fucking tell people how to react. It's like I see it all the time. Yeah. I'm like, every time, anytime you see, the videos, people always get mad at the reaction, but they don't get mad at the action that caused the reaction.
Right.
It's like when you see a fight or whatever, or somebody in somebody's face and they swing on them, and then the other person swing back and knock them out. Then all of a sudden, everybody jumping up like, oh, stuff like, motherfucker, he swung on me first.
Oh yeah,
it's like how you. Any situation, it's like, hey, and especially when it's a man and a woman. Like, especially if it's like a man and a woman or something like that.
Fight on that cruise we went on too, because dudes talking shit. I was like, man, you get
into a fight with me on Carnival Cruise. Overboard.
Yeah. I mean, people always get mad at the reaction, especially when it's a man and a woman going back and forth, and the woman is just saying like the most vile shit, and the man is like trying to walk away, the woman all in his face. And then she started hitting him, and then he finally swing back. And now everybody want to jump in, and everybody got something to say. And it's like, yo, none of y'all was trying to get this chick out of my face.
You remember the brick lady?
Oh,
the lady got hit in the face with the brick, and now all of a sudden she started a GoFundMe, and she raised a whole bunch of money, but then they took it away from her because they found her she was lying.
Oh, I know which one you talking about.
I remember seeing. I don't remember what the incident was.
She tried to claim that the guy threw a brick in her face, but then she, when the video came out, that she was all in his face and slapped him, and he was like, oh, then he fixed his glasses, and then all of a sudden you see a brick flying through the air, and you get smacked and wake up in the hospital.
My dad used to call them alley biscuits.
Alley biscuits.
Catch an alley biscuit.
Good Lord, how you throw a brick at somebody's face, man?
Shit, you get mad enough. Yeah, like you talk the right amount of shit, you'll catch one.
All right, we gonna next one.
I can piggyback off of that. I was thinking, like, do you think society? I know your answer probably, but
here we go.
Do you think society has taken empathy too far? As far as like just the trying to justify every situation and give people passes for everything because they've been through X, Y, Z in their past and stuff. It's like if you've been through a trauma 20 years ago, it's like, does that still give you license to be an asshole today?
I think,
or just be an all around bad person.
I think in today's time, when we have everything going on through social media, and you got the individuals that post all their business online, or whether if you profit from it, some people, it doesn't give you a pass to be an asshole. It also doesn't give you a pass to where if you need help, if you need closure, get that shit. Because you cannot just keep using that shit to shit on people. You got to move forward. You got to get past it because life goes on. Like,
I'm just talking about as far as society not holding, the lack of accountability when it comes to people, doing stuff, and they get to write it off and write it off as a reaction or being triggered by something, and then.
But I would just think it's just
individual, but society at large.
Selective outrage. I think selective outrage plays into it, and you applying yourself to a certain ideology or a certain group and thinking that because I did it, I should be able to get away with it. But then every once in a while you get those fuck around and find out moments, and then now you got to suffer the consequences. But then when you get who is those people that give that pass? Who are those people that just say, hey, we ain't gonna worry about it? But then it's the people that actually suffer the consequences, that actually face consequences. Like, do you think it just be too harsh on them, or it just like, hey, this kind of been building up, like Don Lemon? It kind of been building up, and now I did it, and now I'm actually fucking around and finding out. Just like, hey, would you go in to a voting place and vote twice? You said, nah, it'll be the time where I get caught when they paying attention. I kind of apply that same way, but then it's kind of weird.
I think when it comes down to as far as you said, empathy, right?
Yeah, just taking empathy too far.
Yeah. I think it's based on the generations too. Again, it seems like nowadays this generation has less things to worry about than previous generations, and so on and so forth. I mean, it always trickled down the lines. So an example is to sit there, and I don't know if y'all are into war documentaries or anything like that, but I for whatever reason, I'm fascinated with World War II and the Vietnam War and the wars that took place in those eras, because you're talking about men that were built differently. And at the age of 18, 19 years old, they flying overseas to go take care of a battle that they knew nothing about, but it's blood and guts, and you got to run directly up on your enemy in order to spill blood. And I'm talking about taking a human being's life. And not to say that, it's just that there was a different generation of society. Is a different generation of man. So that man that made it out of World War II, after you done choked the shit out of somebody and it was probably like your 33rd person that you killed that day, it's like there's very little that's going to, complicate the rest of your life, because you already know the hardest thing that you've done was taking somebody else's life. Fast forward that 20 more years, you got, the South Korean War and then the Vietnam War, and these people were battle hardened because they dealt with way more shit than today's generation deal with. As opposed, you skip another generation, you come through the era where, men still had to be men, go out and work 12 hours a day, whether it was a farmland or some steel mill or something. But you're talking about a generation that was hardened. These are like hardcore dudes, as opposed to now you sit there and make videos all day on a YouTube or something. And it's like, what do you know about being hard? And it's like, that is going to come with empathy, because you haven't really been through anything to gauge, where that steel comes from, that steel that you made of. You know where on the gauge in your current life to say like, well, yeah, I did have to go out and, go choke the shit out of this dude over this land feud that we was having and all this other stuff. This generation to me is way softer than, of course, the prior generations, because they had more to go through. But this generation to me is just like, I wouldn't want to be a teenager in today's society, because it's just like, you got nothing to compare what's a hard life to you?
Well, it's like that old saying, it was like hard times create hard men, and hard men create soft times, and then soft times create soft men, and then soft men create hard times.
Oh crap! I didn't hear that one.
You heard that before?
Yeah, you might have to say that again.
I did. So hard times create hard men.
Got you. Okay.
Hard men create soft times. Soft times create soft men, and then soft men create hard times.
Oh well, shit. Yeah.
So
well, there
it's
you
like a loop.
Yeah, it's. I think times have changed, at least as far as from the kids' standpoint and the growing adults. It just, some of the stuff that for the empathy part,